What's up, everybody? Episode 7 of the WG
7.
podcast season dose.
Big Ben episode.
Big Ben episode.
Wasn't Seven's fault. Bring him back.
Trey Turner episode.
Trey Turner
We're
episode.
number 7 on the Juju episode.
Juju episode.
Juju episode.
Who
Explosive episode.
Who wears 7 on the Panthers? Shaq Thompson episode.
Shaq Thompson episode.
Shame he's out for the year.
Yeah.
Hate to see it, but
Either
as
way,
always, we're your main guys. Adam,
Dante.
And Luke.
back as always. Gonna be the same old this week. You'll be seeing this, your regular time, but we're recording at night. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, we gotta prove it somehow.
Crazy.
We are indeed recording at night.
Yes.
Yep.
The vibes are up. We all have plenty to complain
Fine.
about. At least I do. Adam and I do.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go too in depth, I don't think.
Yeah, I'll say what needs to be said.
Hey. I'm just saying. Steelers got the dub.
Can't complain, man.
I was very glad I was wrong, but anyway.
Yeah, well,
like I was saying to my dad, I would rather be wrong with the pick than, I don't know, go with the Steelers and get humiliated,
Mm-hmm.
But they're going into the bye week, 3-2, first
Top
place.
in the division.
It's insane.
Man, it's really a shame that combined at week 5, our teams have a combined 4 wins.
Whew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's rough. That's rough.
It is tough, but
I'm glad, I hate to say it, but I'm glad my team's carrying.
yeah, you're doing all the heavy lifting. Not much to be
It's
proud about over here, but
We're the only 0-5 team in football. Not a bad thing.
that makes you the best 0-5.
It's a bad thing.
Yes, we're the best 0-5 team.
Yeah,
in the NFL.
it may or may not be a bad thing, Adam, but
You guys are
I respect the positivity and the optimism.
Hey, if I want to go with my other team, 49ers are 5-0. So
Well, you'll take what you can get. The team you're repping right now, if anybody is watching, not listening, Phillies hat, Phillies jersey. He has nothing to complain about on that side of the sports. So that's probably a pleasant distraction from the 0-5
yes, very
functions
pleasant.
of the Carolina Panthers.
Very pleasant.
Hey, my Pittsburgh Pirates won 76 games, and I could not be happier.
Postseason next year.
I'm just saying.
Look at the Diamondbacks. I wouldn't say anything's impossible.
Seriously, man.
Corbin Carroll's nice. Anyway, that's baseball.
All right, let's talk about some football, shall we?
Let's do it.
How shall we begin? Shall I
Look at these old games.
shall I
pretty quick.
rattle off the quick fantasy
Yeah,
leaders?
go ahead. Give us these fantasy leaders. I know you're dying.
I'll
to.
go pretty quick. Our honorable mention for the week was Sam Howell, who had 25.42 against the Bears on Thursday night. Kind of shocked he had that much, honestly. He didn't have the best game, but not the worst game. We had Dallas Goedert with 25.7 against the Rams. Brock Purdy against the Dallas Cowboys, 26.08. Desmond Ridder, somehow, 26.16.
Are we gonna have our first Steeler?
At number 12, 26.6. George Pickens.
GP, let's
JP!
go. It's about time. Thank God.
There he is.
A Steeler has made the list.
Yes.
God.
Going on from there, we had Jalen Hurts, 27.32 against the Rams. Jared Goff against my Panthers, 27.44. He is my fantasy quarterback in one of my leagues, though. Can't complain. I will say I did make a big trade this week. I know he's out for a few weeks, but I bought low and I traded for Jay Jettas. I took a risk.
Dude, I mean, it's still Jefferson.
Buying low on Justin Jefferson.
What did you
would never
give
be a
up?
bad idea.
Buying low was considered the first deal the guy proposed was Aaron Jones and Calvin Ridley for Jalen Warren and Justin Jefferson. And then he wanted to swap QBs. I gave him Justin Fields. I get back Russell Wilson, who I dropped for Matt Stafford. So my QBs are Goff and Stafford now.
So wait, so who did you give up for JJ?
Aaron Jones and Calvin Ridley, basically. And I guess Justin Fields.
For Jefferson and Warren?
And Jalen Warren, yeah.
Jalen Warren is getting hella carries now, and he's a beast.
Yeah,
I love him.
he is.
He is. Yeah, it's pretty great.
We're moving on into the top 9. We had tied the 9 spot with 27.7. Adam Thielen repping the Panthers and
Nice.
George Kittle repping my 49ers. Then we had Josh Allen, 27.76 against the Jags. Then Breece Hall, welcome back to putting up big numbers, 28.4 against the Broncos in Denver. Tyreek Hill, making his 3rd appearance of the year, 32.1. Justin Fields, another big week, 32.98. Zach Moss, 33.5 against the Titans. Continuing to take that production away from Derrick Henry. Or not Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor. What am I saying? Anyway, you get the deal. ETN for the Jags against Buffalo, 36.4. Somehow not the highest scoring total of the week. DJ Moore's 49 against the Commanders.
My wide receiver 1 in one league is the guy who's at number 1.
Finished behind 52.2 against the Cardinals for Jamar Chase.
3 touchdown performance for both of those guys.
Highest scoring fantasy total of the year so far, I believe.
Funny story.
H-Chan's 51.
Funny story about that. I forgot to sub out Amon-Ra as my wide receiver 2 for this
Oh,
league.
no.
And it worked out because Jamar Chase dropped 52. And I still won the game.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Jordan Love only got me 7 points. Josh
he
Jacobs
did not
got me
play
9,
well this week.
so I was happy.
Well, we had no Puka Nakua this week on the list, unfortunately. As I said, first appearance for Pittsburgh. There are now only 2 teams with no fantasy representative yet this year, and that is the Saints and the Titans.
That's
all that's left.
Did Nakua? He had a touchdown, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He's still like a 21-point week, but just off the list.
That's crazy.
He's still doing good regardless. So
yeah, good for him.
All right, shall we buzz through the week 5 scoreboard?
Yeah,
we shall.
We want to start with our squads.
Fine with me.
Sure.
Dante, you won. I think it's only right you go first.
Okay. Well, going into this game, I had pretty low expectations. I expected us to get spanked. And before I give my thoughts on this game, I want to thank the stone mitts of Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, and Mark Andrews, because
no kidding,
they won us the game. But other than that, outside of those, we contained the run pretty well. I mean, Justice Hill did have a touchdown. Our pass rush, as always, unbelievable. TJ Watt, 2 sacks, a fumble recovery. Alex Highsmith, a sack and a fumble recovery. I mean, and a forced fumble. Cole Holcomb looked good. Secondary looked better. And Kenny Pickett, 18 for 32, 224 with the touchdown. I'll take that every week from Kenny, And then George Pickens just doing George Pickens things. 6 for 130 with a touchdown. 17-10, pretty ugly game. Blocked punt on special teams was huge to shift momentum. This was a really fun game to watch. And, especially that deep ball to GP at the end to seal the game. I mean, that was just incredible. And then TJ Watt at the end of the game solidified himself as the defensive player of the year, front runner right now with his 8th sack of the year. Yeah, I was pretty happy with his win. Offense still not looking great, but looking better. Statistically, they're looking better. Outscored the Ravens 14-0 in the second half. Didn't shut them out in the second half. So our defense really came up big for us, and just a good win. JPJ pick. That was huge. That was good luck me wearing his jersey last episode. I was pretty hyped about that. That was so much fun. But one player that should be cut from this team, one negative, get Gunnar Olszewski off this team immediately.
It's time.
It is time.
It's time.
Luke, you got the good out of him. We're getting the bad.
It seems like that is the case.
Yeah.
I remember last year, week 2 against us, Steelers Patriots. I believe that was week 2.
Mm-hmm.
He made some mistake on a punt return for a turnover, and everybody was calling for him to be cut back then. So I think it's time.
I mean, the guy plays hard, and he has had some bigger plays, some some splash plays, I guess. But
but
other
nothing to justify his mistakes.
the bad outweighs the good. And it just sucks. Calvin Austin was in concussion protocol, and I'm glad he's cleared for next week because he
Good.
should be taking every kick return, every punt return. Um, those are my thoughts. Yeah, 17-10, Steelers get the dub, 3-2 going into the bye, a well needed bye to get back on track. So
We have to talk about. Did you see the clip of when they scored that touchdown? Which was the rumor is that was a Kenny Pickett audible. When he threw that ball to George Pickens, the camera was on Matt Canada and he had no reaction.
yeah, I don't know. I was looking today and I heard that was the call, like going into the play from the huddle, but Ken was just like changing the blocking assignments or something. But either way, it's just mind boggling how every other person in that booth was going crazy.
Jumping up and down, yeah.
Canada's just like stone face.
Who
maybe
knows with that guy?
maybe he was hearing the Fire Canada chants despite having just taken the lead, and it was,
I don't know. Then there were the fire candidate chants at last night's Penguin game, which is pretty funny.
there were, yeah.
It's crazy.
We weren't there, but I heard about that, and
First fire anyone chance at a Pens game since Ron Hextall.
Heck,
Luke and I got to participate in that once. That was fun.
and he did get fired. So.
He did. Hey,
the Pens know what they're doing. Then we went out and got Kyle Dubas and then got Eric Carlson.
oh yeah.
So which was huge, but I digress.
Well, yeah. Anyway, who wants to talk about their loss first?
I can be sure with it because I have about the same thoughts as I did last
Yeah,
week.
I'm pretty short too, honestly.
I again didn't watch much of this game. I tried to watch parts of it, but then again, it got to a point very quickly where there was nothing worth watching. They got up 21-0, I think, in the first quarter, and we never did anything positive at all the rest of the game. I believe last week I said that it was getting to a point where it was worst case scenario. Now it's reached that point where we have to hear reports that Robert Kraft doesn't consider Bill Belichick unfireable, which I think is a good thing, not because I want him fired, but I don't want him to be unfireable, that's for sure, especially when it comes to his ability to pick and choose the personnel for this football team. He's consistently failed again and again at surrounding anybody in any group of this team with sufficient talent. Terrible offense, terrible offensive line. The defense is the only positive, but we've allowed 72 points in the past 2 weeks. And if I wasn't just thinking off the top of my head, I'm sure our defense hasn't been that good this entire year. It's a complete joke. We go from 35-point loss is the biggest loss of Bill Belichick's career, and we follow it up with a 34-point shutout. And it's rock bottom. The only place to go from here is up. And I don't think that now I don't think the Raiders are going to have their turn. We better not lose 40-0 this week. But spoiler alert, I can't pick us this week because how am I supposed to pick a team that has lost 72-3 over the past 72-3 over the past 2 weeks. So hopefully it gets better. But I can't believe it's week 5. And I have to say that it's over for a Bill Belichick team. It's over. There's just about nothing left to look forward to except for changes. And I don't think those are coming soon enough.
That's
the frustration I can express because we're at the end of something good. I know, Adam, it's looking just as bad for you guys. Maybe not just as bad, but you are winless. But you're at the beginning of something that has to show promise eventually. So I think that you won't have quite as harsh thoughts. Sorry, Dante, were you going to say something?
I was going to say, Luke, I know you guys are 1-4 and we're 3-2, but man, I have the same complaints about my team as you have for yours. lack of production on offense, man. It's so frustrating whenever you know your team has the personnel to be a successful team. Like you guys, I know Mac could be a good quarterback. I know Kenny could be a good quarterback. I know you guys have Kendrick Bourne. You guys have two solid tight ends, a solid defense, staple on that defense. We have TJ Watt. You guys have Matt Judon. I'm feeling your pain. You have the pieces to put it together, but it's just something's not working.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We have the pieces to put it together, but instead it's falling apart. You talk about Matt Judon, but he's injured. Christian Gonzalez out for the year. J.C. Jackson didn't do anything in his first game, which is fine. I didn't really expect him to. I've always thought Mac Jones could be the guy, but he's shown me absolutely nothing over the past 2 weeks to point to that fact. He threw his 4th home pick 6, which here's a little stat. I have 2 stats for you. Tom Brady threw 4 pick 6s at home in his entire career. In 2.5 years, Mac Jones has 4 pick 6s at home. Here's another stat. I'm not going to get this quite right. But it's some number like this. I remember seeing this. I'm going to be close to correct. I might even have it correct, but there's something like this that in the last 10 years of his career, Tom Brady went 80-12 at home, and in the last 21 games of Mac Jones' career, he's gone home games. He's gone 9-12 at home. So he was never going to be Tom Brady. It's an impossible standard for anybody to live up to, except for Brock Purdy, apparently. But it'd be nice if he could at least go out there and do a little bit more than he's been doing, because now he's barely worth playing. It's at the point where we have to ask ourselves every week whether or not he's worth starting. So I can't believe it has crumbled this fast. It's all right. I still love the NFL. I'm still going to watch every week. And like I said, this is rock bottom. I'm being very, very pessimistic, which I don't think you can blame me for, but I'm not depressed. I still love the NFL and I'm still going to watch.
Just be happy it's early,
It is early, and
maybe a quarter way through the season,
It is very early, and I'm not sure what hopes, if any, we have for the end of this year, competing for anything. But there are players that I want to see come into their own. There are players I still enjoy watching play, and I still enjoy talking football. I love talking football with you guys. So no amount of I'm just gonna put it this way. No amount of suck is going to completely ruin my mood.
That's fair.
All
right, go ahead, Adam. The floor is yours.
Let me start you off with 2 stats, okay? 1, at least you have a win. 2, at least you have your first round pick. I don't have any of that right now. I'm not going to have a first round pick this year, but it's okay. In this game against Detroit, there's not much to say. They did about how I expected them to do. We lost 42-27, 42-24. My apologies. Close enough. But they did about what I expected them to do. Put up 20-some points. Let the Lions explode on offense. David Montgomery ran all over the field. It is what it is. This might have been, besides the 2 interceptions, this might have been Bryce Young's best game statistically.
Touchdowns.
I'd still like to argue maybe the Vikings game was a little better, but it's encouraging to see him at least improve. I know there's going to be a point this year where he has an amazing game and really gives those Panthers fans the confidence that the big trade we made was worth it. I know there's going to be a time this year. It's not yet. It's probably not going to be next week against Miami. Definitely not. But until we can maybe rattle off a win, my goal for this team is just everybody to get to know everybody else better, improve the team chemistry. For Bryce Young to improve, that's the main goal. maybe for Frank Reich to hand over the playbook to Thomas Brown, but I get it. I saw he was criticizing our owner, David Tepper, after the game, which I can't even say I blame Reich. Tepper's not the greatest owner. We haven't had a winning season since Tepper bought the team. But I mean, I digress. There's really not much to talk about. It's the same thing with the squad every week, but I don't know. I saw Miles Sanders might not be playing this week, but to be honest, it doesn't matter. We're gonna get blown out by Miami anyway. I saw somebody say today it's gonna be worse than the Denver game. They're honestly not ridiculous for saying that, but I don't know. I think our defense is too good to let up 70 points, but
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I hate to say it, I wouldn't be surprised if Miami had 50. If Detroit can get 42, I won't be surprised if Miami scores 50. We'll see though.
I don't see him scoring over 40, to be honest with you.
That would be fine with me.
You're telling me you don't see Chase Claypool making a huge difference?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Chase Claypool's a Dolphin.
Chase
now.
Claypool is a Dolphin now.
Or what? A pick swap? 6th and the
Basically,
7th round
yeah.
pick swap?
I hope Mike McDaniel just pulls off he just trades him just to like not play him.
Oh yeah.
Chase Claypool goes back to the Steelers.
You don't know how frustrated I would be at that. I'd
Even
rather have,
for like a 7th round pick.
they would have to give us a 7th round pick for me to take him.
True.
You know, I would have to
Even if he was wearing the Steely McBeam costume. No, you just don't want him in the arena.
I just don't want him in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I don't quite blame you.
Hold on, I gotta find an image. Keep talking for a second.
I think I know what it is. Can I make it, Adam?
If there's anybody to
It's this one. It just says no. It's Claypool.
I thought it was going to be the Applejack Cinnamon.
Oh no, I don't know where that went.
I made that.
I know
Yeah.
you did.
I was gonna say if there was anybody to
That's
turn
an amazing image.
a skill positions player around, it would be this year's career around. It'd be the Dolphins this year, but come on,
Yeah,
they may be explosive, but they're not miracle workers.
Right.
very true.
Speaking of that,
Anyways,
I saw Mike
continue with
McDaniel.
whatever you're
I
saying.
saw Mike McDaniel hyping up what's his name, Bryce Young today. I love that guy, but that guy cannot put together complete sentences. It's everything he says in his speeches just sounds all over the place.
There it is.
And then you had the Pickens one with the what was it? The Applejack?
Yeah, it was the
For those people just listening and not watching, he just pulled up just a hilarious picture. It's the
Claypool.
old mascot from the Applejack cereal.
It's Claypool.
Cinnamon.
Or Cinnabon or whatever it was, and it just looks like Chase Claypool.
I love that.
It really does. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it really does. It's crazy. Anyway,
So
All right. Let's just run through the rest of the scores.
Yeah.
Bears got their first win of the year. Congratulations.
Dick Buckus didn't live to see it, but
We're
that's
the only winless team now. Woohoo. It's all right. Jacksonville took down the Bills in London, continued their London dominance. They get a week off from playing there this week, so that's good for them. Carolina, we talked about. Tennessee lost to the Colts. I believe, Dante, you picked Indianapolis. You were the only one here to do so, I believe.
I picked Indy.
Yeah.
All right. Oh wow.
yeah. I did not see that one coming, but
I think we were all wrong on the Bears, and I believe, Dante, you picked Buffalo, but we picked Jacksonville. So.
Yeah. Which is great call by you guys.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. We were all wrong on Houston. Falcons won by 2.
Man,
Dolphins. Yeah.
Before you go, the 1 week I lose hope in the Falcons, it bites me in the ass. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they got
It's
another
CJ
interesting
Stroud.
game coming up this week, I think. I forget. They do. Giants lost to the Dolphins. Surprise, surprise. Bengals beat the Cardinals. I told you guys. I knew it was
Hot take, Adam. Sorry.
I knew it was a boring pick, but I was like, I'm probably going to be the one that's right. I will say though, it was fun seeing you guys pick the Cardinals. That was
But I
really
enjoyed picking the Cardinals with you, Dante.
it's really the highlight of the season so far.
Yeah, that was fun.
Most definitely.
I genuinely thought they were gonna win that game. I did.
I somehow talked myself into it, like
You-
genuinely.
You convinced me. I was like, the Cardinals are playing better football right now.
they were.
But of
But,
course, Jamar Chase explodes. But
yeah. Something had to give. The Bengals are fine now. We all knew that was going to happen eventually. The Eagles beat the Rams. That we all called that one. The Jets beat the Broncos. I was the lone pick of the Broncos, and I don't really mind being wrong for that one because it's just more embarrassment for Sean Payton, who I don't particularly like.
Yeah,
So-
seriously, Sean Payton, what happened?
Nathaniel Hackett revenge game. Good for him.
It was, yeah.
He got the game ball after the game.
Good.
He did.
Good for him, I guess.
Then we had the Chiefs winning against the Vikings by a touchdown. Justin Jefferson got hurt in that game. He will be on injured reserve. The 1-win Vikings are not going to be without their top offensive weapon. That's tough. That is tough.
Worst thing that could have happened to the Vikings right now.
Jordan Addison season.
Yeah.
Hey, I honestly forgot they had him. Plus, they still have Hawkinson, and they have Madison, so they won't be completely incompetent. But
They're not dead, but they are definitely in a
Hurt.
tough spot.
yes.
Then besides that, Sunday, what?
So I'm just looking at these scores. The next
Yeah.
game, the 49ers beat the brakes off the Cowboys.
Sunday night beat down, as I was going to say, that's for sure. And then Monday, you had the Raiders squeak by the Packers in a 4-point game. Devontae Adams took down his old team. I believe we all had Green Bay, and then we all had San Francisco.
Mm.
So
Well,
Don't believe this, but
Jordan Love stunk that stadium up. It was bad.
yeah. I was not watching the game because the Phillies were on, and then we had the Dodgers game on after that, which shout out Arizona if you know, you know. But yeah, I heard Jordan Love did not play that great.
Mhm.
he's certainly no savior come down from heaven for that franchise, like Jalen Hurts, kind of, you could say. Because I think they're kind of, similar position, replacing the quarterback that was there. It's there are definitely growing pains there, and I think Jordan Love will be fine, but I really expected them to be able to win a game like this.
I knew this was going to be, I'm not going to say a rebuilding year, but kind of like take a step back, one step back for two giant steps forward kind of year for Green Bay, I think.
Mhm.
Kind of just figure out their new group, new QB. I think Jordan Love will be fine. He just needs some time to get used to things.
Yeah, I agree.
But, yeah.
Was even this year being a pretty solid quarterback. He's made plays. So
He has, yeah. He's
Yeah.
definitely shown flashes.
I saw something today. Sorry for yawning. That apparently said he is one of the worst statistical QBs in the first half, but is known for scoring a lot of touchdowns in the second half. It was something like that.
Yep.
So, anyway, do we
Right.
want to get right into week number 6?
Absolutely.
We're already, after this week, we will be 1/3 of the way through the regular season.
Oh my God.
Keep
Slow
that in mind.
down. He needs to slow down, man. I don't
It
know how hard
does. It always
Yeah,
speeds
how
up.
to be done. Anyway, let's roll.
All right, let's get it started. Thursday night football. A real thriller here. Denver and Kansas City.
I
Pretty
think
sure
we all
Kansas
know.
City's won like 30 matchups in a row against Denver or something like that.
Make it 31.
Is anything
Yeah,
going to stop
I
you
think
guys
we
from
all
picking
know.
the Chiefs?
Yeah, we're all picking the Chiefs.
It's a pretty easy one.
Just to confirm, you are going Chiefs, Dante.
Yes.
I love when you do that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I think so. Especially since it's in Kansas City. I think I did see Kelsey is questionable for that game, but
It doesn't
either way,
matter. It
this
doesn't
isn't Detroit. This is Denver. They should win without
matter.
Kelsey.
It's the Super Bowl.
Wait, what'd you say?
You ever see that clip whenever Brett Favre threw the interception? Like to go to the Super Bowl? They were like, "This isn't Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl."
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's yeah.
It's a good one.
I honestly thought for a second you were talking about the Steelers and you said we are going to the Super Bowl.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, Kelsey's questionable. He accidentally scheduled to get his 19th booster at the same time as game time. So he has to choose one or the other, and he's not sure yet.
He didn't tell Taylor Swift when game time was.
Yeah,
she didn't
right.
plan to be in attendance. Which, by the way, did you guys know Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are dating?
I did not. Wow. It's almost like I care.
Yeah. Anyways,
London.
third week in a row, London
I
game.
thought she was dating Gunnar Olszewski.
I mean, that's the real that's the real.
Yeah.
I thought she was dating Adam Thielen.
I thought she was dating GP.
That would be one power couple right there.
I mean, he's a better receiver. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Anyways, London game. Baltimore, Tennessee. I think we know who we're gonna go for this one, right? I know they just lost, but Ravens.
I mean, if they make sure to bring their gloves this time, as long as they practice catching footballs this week, I think the Ravens got this one in hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens as well.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens as well, just because I don't feel like Tennessee has earned this pick either. The Ravens are coming off a loss, but so is Tennessee, and so
the Ravens played good ball too most of that game.
Honestly, they did. They handed you guys the game every opportunity they got, but it really took down to the end for them to lose that game.
Yeah.
Next game, super hard pick.
Do I even bother previewing it? Carolina, Miami. I'm not even gonna waste my time. Miami.
Team in the light blue.
Yeah.
Miami.
Hey, be careful what you say there. Carolina's wearing their baby blues for this.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Well, at least we'll lose in style, like we did week 2.
Yes, those jerseys are beautiful. And we're not even wearing them at home this year. I don't get that.
That's a shame.
I think we're wearing them twice, in Miami and in Tampa. Well,
Adam, you know what my favorite Panther jersey is?
What's that?
Your white ones, just your aways.
I love those too.
Those are so clean. I like those.
They wear them way too much, but I do love them.
So nice. I love those.
They're great. They've worn them every week so far this year, except for week 3 in Seattle.
I must be a white jersey guy because the Steelers away is my favorite. That might be a hot take, but it is.
It's clean, man.
Patriots play is so nice. Oh my god.
They're old ones too. They're like Brady era white jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
Those are clean. So
anyway,
New Orleans versus Houston in Houston.
Should be interesting game.
Very interesting game.
I know who I'm picking.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I think I have my pick, but I want to hear you first, Luke.
I'm gonna pick New Orleans. Because we were just on the other end of a blowout, thanks to them. So I think CJ Stroud, maybe this is the week he finally throws an interception. He's been so much fun to watch, but I think New Orleans is just the better team.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna pick the Saints too. I mean, Houston's defense is good. They do have Will Anderson, Denzel Perryman. They got Steven Nelson, Derek Stingley.
Derek Stingley, yeah.
They're good. They're a pretty good defense, but I think the Saints offensively have looked pretty solid against most teams they played this year. But
Kamara has hit a stride. They've looked pretty good.
Yeah, they do have Kamara back. That's true. And then Chris Olave doing Chris Olave things. I do think the Texans will keep it close, but
I think so too.
I'll take the Saints in this one.
Did I hear you mention Panthers legend Denzel Perryman?
Denzel Perryman, beast, pretty good.
Yes. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Saints as well. Like Dante said, I think this will be close, but I think the Saints will get it done. Their defense especially will play a key factor in this one, I think.
Yeah.
So
the next game, I want you two to go first. I want to see what you're picking.
Yeah, it's a close one. Washington and Atlanta in Atlanta. And you know what? I'm going to pick the Commanders to bounce back. I think they can really use it. I'm sure they're upset by losing to Chicago, letting them have their first win in almost a full year on national TV. I'm sure they're upset, and I think this one's going to be a close physical game, but like a 17-16 kind of game. But I think the Commanders are going to get this one done in Washington. So I'm going with them.
I don't know. The Commanders are just really confusing me right now.
Yeah.
They lose 37-3 against the Bills. Then they lose in overtime 34-31 to a similar team, a better team in the Eagles. Then they let the Bears drop 40 on them. I really don't know where to go with this one. I think I'm going to go Atlanta. I think Atlanta at home has the edge. Washington isn't. I mean, I really don't know where they stand within run defense, but it better be good this week, having to face Bijan. And Bijan's just been really on a tear, just playmaker ever since he got into the league.
Oh yeah.
So I'll take Atlanta.
That's fair. I'm going to pick the Commanders as well, actually. I was just curious to see where you guys were going to go with this. I don't really have a specific reason. I think this is a pretty even matchup. I just think that the Commanders have a bit of a higher ceiling than the Falcons. Although I will say, hearing all of those scores, the one thing they all have in common is high scores from the other team. So the Commanders' defense does worry me. But then again, their defense is supposed to be good. So I think against a team like Atlanta, who the Bears are not a good team, but we all thought going into the offseason, everybody thought they were going to be. So they had to have some sort of explosiveness. Whereas I don't think the Falcons have much of any explosiveness. Even though I think they're a decent team, I think the Commanders are going to be able to handle them. However, I will just mention something that I've talked to Adam about once or twice this week that has been bugging him. I cannot wait until
Don't say it.
week 17 when the 49ers are 15-0 and they have to face Washington, who is going to be 5-9-1 or whatever they are, and the Commanders end their undefeated streak.
Oh man.
It's going to happen. We all know it's bound to happen.
Oh, it will.
It will. But I think they pick up a win this week.
All right. Next game, Colts and Jaguars. This is the second time these two have played this season. It'll be the final time, since I assume only one of them, one team from that division in particular, will make the playoffs. It'll probably be Jaguars, I guess. What'd you say?
Colts won the first one, right?
Jaguars did. It was very close.
Oh.
It was in week number 1.
Keep in mind, it'll be Gardner Minshew this week for the foreseeable future.
It was confirmed today. Anthony Richardson's going on IR with,
which, to be honest, doesn't
kind of injury, hamstring.
That doesn't really change.
It was a shoulder injury, Adam.
Yeah,
shoulder. That's right. Thank you.
I know who I'm picking, and this quarterback change doesn't really affect that. But I don't think this is not a knock to either of these guys. But I don't think you have much lower of a ceiling with Gardner Minshew than you do with Anthony Richardson.
I mean, Richardson, he's a playmaker, but he is still in development. He hasn't reached his full potential as an NFL starter yet. And I've really liked Richardson. I like how he plays. He plays hard, maybe to his detriment since he is
seems like it. Yeah,
getting injured.
Second or third injury already.
I will say it's a shame that this is like the third time he's hurt already in his career. It's a shame he's getting injured so much.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that does happen to rookies. It happened to Najee a little bit, but I know Najee's a running back, but he did get hurt. It happened to Freiermuth. I know I'm bringing up Steelers, but that's really the most I know.
Yeah, it's definitely
that's fair. It's all
but yeah, you've seen those guys. They make big plays. I think Richardson, if he'll learn to protect himself more and not to take so many risks, unlike, a guy like Josh Allen who still hasn't learned. But yeah, we'll see. I think Richardson will still be a solid quarterback for the foreseeable future. Hopefully he just stays healthy.
So with Gardner Minshew in mind, Dante, do you know who you're picking this week?
I am going to pick the Jaguars, especially with their offensive dominance they put out on the field against Buffalo. They did only win by 5. However, ETN looked great. T-Law looked pretty good. Christian Kirk had a couple nice plays. I watched the game. I was eating breakfast watching that game. It was a blast. But yeah, give me Jacksonville.
Give me Jacksonville as well. It's just not in the cards for Indianapolis to win this game right now. And that's fine. It doesn't hurt their season too much since they just beat Tennessee, and I didn't think they were going to win that game anyways. So I hope it's a good game. I hope Gardner Minshew goes out there and gives them a challenge.
I am going to be picking the Jaguars as well. Yeah, I hope the Colts challenge it, but I do think Jacksonville will be winning here, especially since they are the team at home. So give me the Jags.
Nice.
Moving on, we have a AFC versus NFC game here. Seattle and Cincinnati. This is an interesting one. Seattle's coming off a bye. They're 3-1. Bengals are 2-3. They looked a lot better last week. Finally seeing that Burrow and Chase connection working again. I'll let you guys go first. I'm actually interested to see who you pick. Dante, you're looking like you don't know. Luke, do you have an idea?
Yet.
If you don't, I think I know who I'm going to pick.
Go ahead, Adam, because
okay.
I know what my gut is saying, but I'm not sure that it's right. So
Agreed.
I'm going to go with the Bengals in this one. Okay. I think it could be really close actually, but I think Cincinnati's going to get the win. I think they're at home. Their offense is working a lot better. I just think this is going to be the week where everything clicks for them, and it's real. I don't know what the word is. Like last week, everything just felt right for them. It was a good confidence booster. That's what I was looking for. It'll be another nice confidence boosting win. They'll be 3-3 going into their week 7 game, or if they have a bye in week 7, their game after that. I'm not sure which, but going into their next game, they'll be 3-3, looking a lot better. So I will be saying Cincinnati for this week. But I won't be surprised if Seattle makes this a game.
I know who I'm going to pick.
Go for it.
I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I'm going to pick the Seahawks.
Okay.
I'm actually going to disagree a little bit with what you said. I don't think that I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to use this week for a confidence boost. Led by Pete Carroll, that is a strong team. It's a team that fights. It doesn't go down. When you knock them down, they get back up. They say you're not going to use us as a confidence boost. And the Bengals may win this game, but the Bengals, they got back on track with the Cardinals, who, looking back on it, we probably should have seen that one coming. But the Seahawks are no pushover. The Bengals are not walking into two straight easy matchups, and they're getting better. They are, but the Seahawks are decent right now, and I don't think this is a test that the Bengals are ready for quite yet. As weird as that is to say.
I think I'm also going to take the Seahawks. And that's just because, looking at 3 of their 4 games, the Seahawks have scored at least 24 points. And in 2 of those games, they dropped exactly 37 points. And one that really jumps out to me is they beat a team, in my opinion, who is better than the Bengals right now, is the Detroit Lions. Beat them 37-31. This is a high-scoring offense. I expect DK to have a pretty good game. I also expect Jamar Chase to have a good game. It's going to be a shootout. I expect like a 34-31 game.
Yeah, I expect a great game.
Yeah, that's my prediction. But if this was a hard pick for me, if it was in Seattle, I'm easily hitting the Seahawks there.
I agree with that.
But yeah, I think I'm going to take Geno Smith in Seattle. And we all know what happened last week whenever we both picked against the Bengals and Adam didn't.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, but I think this time it's maybe a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah, I don't feel as confident this time, but I will be pretty happy if I'm the lone correct pick for Cincinnati again.
Yeah.
So. All right, well, we'll see. Hopefully it's a good game.
This next one is actually really interesting. And it's weird when both teams are 1-4 game, but the Vikings and the Bears. Chicago coming off a good week. You can count it maybe 2 good weeks. They lost to Denver, but they looked pretty good in that game, at least for the first half. They looked really good last week. Minnesota has kept every game close this year, but now they're going to be without their top guy, as we mentioned, Justin Jefferson, for the foreseeable future, at least the next 4 weeks. Who says it may not be longer? We'll see. I hope it's not longer since I traded for him in a 12-team fantasy league, but who are we picking, boys? Do we have faith that Kirk and Madison, TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison can get it done? Madison, Addison, Hawkinson?
I'll tell you what,
Or do we believe in the Bears?
I don't. When it comes to the Vikings, I don't. I'm gonna pick the Bears. It's hard for me to say that they're going to catch lightning in a bottle 2 weeks in a row, but I think they just have so much of a higher ceiling right now, and there's no way the Vikings don't struggle a little bit, and we'll see. It's going to take a really good game out of the Bears, but I think they're capable of it. They've gotten past some really, really bad growing pains this year already, and the Vikings are still in the middle of that. So I think that the Bears are going to be able to take advantage this week. We'll see, though.
Dante, I know who I'm going with, if you want me to go.
Go for it.
2 words. Duh, Bears. I'm also going Chicago.
As will I. Give me the Bears.
All right.
Clean sweep for the Bears. All right, I love it. Their offense is looking good right now. Fields, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet's looking good too. They just got out of Claypool situation.
They've earned a little bit of confidence. They have
40 points last week. I mean, that's huge. No matter who you're playing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
It's worth respecting.
Their offense has looked good. The Vikings offense is still solid. The Vikings defense is not great. As long as the Bears defense can have a good game, I think Chicago's got this one.
It is at Soldier Field.
It is at Soldier Field.
You guys know I talk about home field advantage all the time on here. But this time, it's really gonna come in handy, personally.
Yeah, I think so. That crowd's gonna be hyped after last week. High expectations going into this game, I bet. A lot of them.
I'll tell you what, this next game, home field advantage is not going to be enough. Why don't you lead us into it, Adam?
Oh. San Francisco and Cleveland.
Oh, man.
In which I heard today, Deshaun Watson did not practice. It's looking like it's going to be Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
See, I didn't even know that, but...
Oh, man.
I mean, that like Luke said with Minshew for the Jaguars game, whether Deshaun plays or not, it's not going to impact my pick. I'm going with San Francisco. I mean, this is a no-brainer, but I mean, Deshaun not playing makes this even easier for me.
Yeah.
The question isn't who to pick; it's by how many points.
Yeah.
And so we'll see.
Will McCaffrey get another touchdown? George Kittle had.
Will he get 3 or 4?
George Kittle had 3 touchdowns last week against the Cowboys. He had 3, right? 2 or 3? 3.
Hat trick on his 30th birthday.
That's right.
He had 67 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kind of crazy.
End zone efficiency.
I don't know if you saw that crazy play the Lions ran where they did all the laterals and got Florida open.
Yeah.
But
and then George Kittle saw that and he said, "We're calling that while we still can."
The Niners copied that in their game.
That's crazy.
The Ben Johnson offense. I'm not gonna stop complaining about this though. I love Frank Reich, but Ben Johnson should be Carolina's head coach right now. That's all I'm gonna say. We wanted him. He didn't have to go back to Detroit. He could have been the man responsible for getting Carolina their first Super Bowl, but it's okay.
Well, even still, I would still take Kyle Shanahan's playbook over him. So we'll see just how much they win by this week.
This may surprise you guys.
Oh, wait.
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, are you actually going
Sorry, I was going to say.
No. The Steelers aren't playing this week, but I cannot wait to see the Browns get trampled.
Yeah, you still have something to look forward to.
By the 49ers.
Bulldoze is, yeah.
And that's a 1:00 game, and You
This
know
is
how
the lock of
CBS
the-
works.
lock
You know how
of the
CBS
year.
works. They give you
Lock
the
of
most
the year.
local game.
Yes,
So
I'm sure
we're
they
gonna
will.
get that game.
I really hope so. I mean, who else
They
is?
want Steelers fans to see the Browns.
Checks
get
out,
that
yeah.
game.
I mean, I was about to say Ravens, but they're playing at 9:30.
In London, yeah. That's definitely not local.
It all depends. Am I gonna be watching the Panthers? Yeah. All right, fine. I will. NLCS game on's not till Monday. I have to watch Carolinas.
Well, you'll
Whatever.
be all right.
I'll be okay. Anyway, moving on. Luke, you guys are kicking off the 4 p.m. slate. Get us started.
Yeah, give me the Raiders
Over who?
over the Patriots, in case you didn't know.
You're actually going Vegas?
Yeah, I'm going Vegas. Vegas beat us last year. They embarrassed us last year. That was maybe still the worst Patriots loss I've ever remembered.
Who threw that lateral?
Yep,
Who
the
threw
lateral to end the game.
Who
Oh, Jacoby Myers,
that? Jacoby.
who is now balling out for the Raiders.
Oh, it was an inside job.
Funny how that works.
Could be Myers' revenge game.
However,
I got the Raiders too, Luke. I'm
No need for
sorry.
revenge.
yeah,
We're already down far enough in the dirt.
Sorry, man. I gotta
That's
go
okay.
with Raiders too.
Luke,
Although I would say I think it could be a close game, actually.
Well, I thought the same about the Saints, and then we went out and we looked like a high school JV
Well,
team. so-
okay. The Raiders are not the Saints.
the Raiders aren't going to blow you guys out, and I will stand by that. They're not. The Raiders aren't dropping 30 points.
I don't think so either, but all I'm going to say is they better not.
I mean, I think they could win because it's McDaniels and he probably knows how to take down the Patriots, but I think it'll be closer. Might be like a 10-point game or something.
I'll say 25-15. Random score. 24-14. I'll say that.
That seems about accurate. You're going Raiders too?
Yes, Raiders.
All right.
Hey, all I'm going to say is no matter how bad it gets, thank God we held on to Bill Belichick long enough. We outweighted Josh McDaniels, who there was a time he definitely thought he was going to be the eventual heir to the throne of Bill Belichick's head coaching job. Thank God we outweighted him. I have reason to celebrate that he will never be our head coach.
Yeah.
I'll just say that much. But he can have this game.
All right, boys. Starting the 425 slate, we got an actual good one. Detroit and Tampa Bay. Detroit's 4-1. Tampa's coming off their bye. They're 3-1. Baker against Jared Goff. Battle of number 1 overall pick QBs.
It's a good one. It's a fun one, but I still think it's a pretty easy pick.
Yeah. Lions.
Yeah, the Bucks are going to put up a fight. It'll be close, but the Lions. I say another 10-point win. Like a 27-17 game.
Yeah, I could see that. It should be a fun game in Florida. Hopefully it's just I could even see it being more high scoring than that.
Mm-hmm.
These two offenses sharing going punch for punch, but I do think that Detroit outlasts them.
Mm-hmm.
Dante, I don't want to bring up a bad Steeler game, but I can't forget about that time the Steelers and Lions tied.
Yeah, I mean, who's the quarterback? Rudolph.
Yeah,
right?
it was Rudolph. I remember Ben
Rudolph.
couldn't go that week.
Yeah, and we tied him. At least we didn't lose. But
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah,
we still made the playoffs that year. So
went for what do the Steelers call it? Their annual loss in Kansas City.
Our annual ass beating at Arrowhead.
That's it. Yeah. Anyways, so we all went with the Lions. Next up, Arizona at the Rams.
Give me the.
I'm not.
I can't do it.
Give me the Rams.
Yeah, give me the Rams.
Let's go, Dean. Give me the Rams.
Sorry, Arizona. You've used up your one pick for the next 2 years. So, and you didn't cash it in.
Guys, we've barely disagreed on this episode.
I
I'm
know.
not noticing that, but it is what it is.
There could be a game we disagree on coming up toward the end, but the next two I kind of think are
The next one,
lopsided.
hopefully not.
Philly at the New York Jets. Now going into the year, this was a game everyone probably was circling on their schedule. Aaron Rodgers against Jalen Hurts, but unfortunately it's become what it's become. Jets looked good last week, but
It's the Eagles.
the Eagles, they're 5-0. Give me Philly.
The Michael Vick Bowl.
Yes. Come on, y'all. I mean, Philly sports, they're on top of the world right now in terms of confidence. Eagles are 5-0. Red October for the Phillies.
How are
You
the
got Fire. What'd you say?
How are the Sixers?
They're coming back soon.
Still
They're
trying to get James Harden
yeah,
to show up
still trying to get James Harden.
and lose 2,000 pounds.
That and Flyer season's back. I don't know how good they're going to be.
Probably
Flyers
terrible.
suck. Flyers are really bad.
Yeah, Flyers
Yeah.
are great.
We can enjoy that one. That's fine.
I think their MLS team's pretty good. Philadelphia Union.
Sure. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah. Why are we getting
Philadelphia Stars, the USFL team?
Yes.
Don't you mean the USXFL? Now that they're merged.
Is that what it's going to be called?
I don't know.
They should call it that.
They should call it that.
The
The-
Dwayne the Rock Johnson Football League.
Yeah. Yeah, just make it called.
The RFL Rock Football League.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Oh yeah,
The logo is just his face
Anyway, you going Eagles, Dante?
yeah, absolutely.
doing the.
Guy from Fortnite League.
Yeah, right.
All right. Man, this next game, I cannot stop laughing because it's worse than Denver and Kansas City. The Bills are hosting the Giants on Sunday Night Football.
Why did the Giants get so many primetime games?
This game, I will be watching the Astros and Rangers instead, probably.
Let's go Rangers.
Yes, go Rangers.
Let's go anybody over the
I hate the Astros.
Marcus
Cheated.
Semien gonna ball.
Corey Seager.
Corey
all right.
Seager, second best shortstop in baseball behind you.
Max Scherzer coming back for the ALCS.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, possibly.
Anyways, for this Sunday night football game, I have one
Bills.
question. Over under 5 turnovers combined. Daniel Jones, Josh Allen.
I'll go. It's gonna be good.
Oh,
It's gonna be 4. I'm going slightly under, but
I'm gonna say
It's probably under, but
I'm gonna say 4-2. I'm gonna say 3 picks from Daniel Jones, 1 pick from Josh Allen.
3 from. I say 1 pick from Josh Allen, 2 from Daniel Jones, and a fumble by
I was gonna say I feel like there's got to be a fumble in there somewhere.
Matt
Matt
Breida.
Breida, you said.
Yeah, he's their running back, right? The Giants.
As long as Saquon's not playing, which
I don't think he is.
I mean, do you even play Saquon in this game? Is it even worth it?
Honestly, yeah.
Probably not.
I'm gonna say I don't know who throws them, but there are going to be a combined 4 interceptions, and I'll go with the over. I think they're going to be 2 fumbles this game. Maybe they don't both turn into turnovers, but either way, Buffalo's unfortunately going to win this one.
I'm curious. I'm gonna go on ESPN real quick. I want to see how much the Bills are favored by.
I'd say. Let me guess. if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
let's take a guess. Everybody make a guess.
I'd say. That's the.
Wow. I'll
Oh,
say
it's actually lower than you think.
yeah. I mean, Vegas doesn't go extreme. Anywhere from 6 to 8.
I'll go 9.5.
I'll lock it in at 8.5.
14.
Oh,
14?
seriously?
Yeah, I thought it would have been in the 20s.
Well,
I mean, that really only happens in like
that doesn't
Buffalo.
really happen.
Miami's favored by 13.5 against the Panthers. Luke, the Raiders are favored by 3.
That's fine. That sounds
And
bad.
apparently the Dodgers are trying to make a comeback. Okay.
It's cool.
But anyway, I assume you're picking the Bills, Dante?
Yes.
Explainable. All
Tough
right.
one.
This one could be a disagreement. Monday night, Dallas Cowboys and LA Chargers at SoFi Stadium. Actually, I know who I'm going to go with. I'll
At
start. this.
SoFi, so a home game for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I know who I'm going with to start. And I'm going to double down on my word. I was saying to some friends after the Sunday night game. You remember the last time the Cowboys lost? They lost to Arizona. What they did the next week, Luke, unfortunately, you remember, blew out the Patriots. I feel sorry for the Chargers. This is also, I guess, the Kellen Moore revenge game, OC for LA. But Dallas coming off an embarrassing loss loss in general, against a team they probably should beat, Dallas. That's my pick.
Adam, would you mind looking up the spread for this game so I can predict it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
Luke, you have your pick in the meantime?
I'll
look up the
Dante,
spread.
what are you gonna pick?
I'm picking Dallas. And I say the spread is Dallas by either 2 or 2.5.
I'm gonna say
Which one?
2.
2.5.
I was gonna say I wasn't gonna interject, but it's Vegas, so it's probably 2.5.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll disagree for the sake of disagreeing. Although I do actually think the Chargers have as good of a shot as anybody to beat a team like Dallas. The Chargers aren't amazing, but they were a playoff team last year, and I think that offense is about as capable as anyone. And that defense is not to be disregarded. I think that Dallas could work their way into some mistakes. So I'm going to pick the Chargers.
All right. It is Steelers bye week. It also is Green Bay Packers bye week.
Yes, sir.
So, Dante, early thoughts for a Week 7 matchup at SoFi against the Rams?
I think I'll save my prediction in terms of who I'm gonna pick.
Well,
next
yeah,
week. But,
save that.
I think the Steelers will be competitive in this game. Coming off a bye, our offense should look better. It's all about containing Kupp and Nakua because we could stop their run. I think we'll stop the run pretty easily. We'll apply pressure to Stafford, make them throw the ball, but it really comes down to containing 3 guys actually: Higbee, Nakua, and Kupp. If we can contain those guys, I think we have a real shot at winning. But yeah, those are my thoughts right now. I'm just really trying to enjoy not having to watch a Steeler football game this week. But, yeah.
Hey, you can relax. You can watch whatever.
I'm gonna watch the Browns get trampled, I think.
Of course, you kind of have to.
Yep.
But anyway, Luke, you don't have a stardom sit-em, you said. It's okay.
Been a little busy.
That's fine. Dante, good, bad, not good on the spot.
I'll learn it on the fly. I mean, good. It's gonna be great actually. And then this is the second time I'm picking them. The entire San Francisco 49ers 53-man roster against the Browns.
Every single one of them.
It worked last week.
Every single player, equipment manager, athletic trainer, fans in the stands, they're all going to be pretty solid. Bad Zach Wilson against the Eagles defense.
That's fair.
Definitely possible.
And ugly Tannehill against the Ravens. Not going to be too great, not going to be horrible, but just mid.
Yeah, I think if they win that game, it's going to be on the ground.
I think that's what we should change this segment name to. Good, bad, and mid.
I like that.
Good, bad, and mid. We'll change it to that. I'm coining that. So
good, bad,
and mid.
All right.
Anyway, that's it for me.
That's it for me too, man. I'm tired.
I'm tired too. I have an 8 a.m. in the morning, so I got to get going.
I do too.
Good luck.
I thankfully do not have my morning accounting next tomorrow for the first
nice
for the one day all week.
Like you totally had it today either.
Well, we don't get into that. But all right, boys. Been a pleasure talking. Thank you to all the listeners.
Thank you to the viewers, man.
So statue we'll see you soon.
Power to the
people. Not
people.
join the premiere for this episode. Join it for the next episode 8. Please do it. Cool intro. Yeah. So cool countdown. So
all right. Shout out to all the viewers and the listeners. As always, We are your hosts, Adam.
Dante.
And Luke.
We'll catch y'all next week.
Peace.